Merry Christmas and good morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you when you're watching this. It is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Just blessings upon you during this holiday season and beyond. I had to change it. I think hers looked a little bit better, but this feels a little more conservative. I still have the genie ponytail, but I got a little bit more control back. My 35-year-old mama saw this morning and was like, what? That's not how I left your hair. And someone commented, she loves you. Is it love or assimilation? I know she loves me, y'all, and I love her probably 4 times, 10 times, 1,000, million times as much. Okay, well, one very serious announcement. I did have my giveaway. Contest rules were listed, and I'm going back today and restructuring my description box. There are things I want to add, things that need to be taken out, as there is no contest anymore. Reason being, we had one participant. I can tell you that she got 9 of the questions correct. So she is my winner. But what I will do, if I can find it. Y'all, I got notebooks everywhere. When I tell everybody to write things down, don't believe I'm not writing things down too. It's just that I can't keep up with where I write things. Directly to my right are 2 5-subject notebooks. And I think I have something under every subject in that notebook. And just pulled from the left is yeah. And there are more planners and journals and notebooks and papers. I write, y'all. I write. So, I will give you all the questions and the answers, because there may be something in the future. Who knows? Question number 1, where am I from? Where was I raised? Where did I grow up? And there were 2 points for that. You could either say North Carolina, and you would get a point for that, or you could say the city and state, which of course is Wilson, North Carolina. And what they're known for is world's greatest tobacco market, WGTM. That was their radio station, and that's what we did. We raised tobacco. Question number 2, what is my favorite thing to crochet? Another 2-pointer. Blankets. I specifically prefer graph cans. I love making graph cans. I love seeing line to line what it grows into being. It just explodes my mind to see something transform into something so beautiful. That's the way I am with just about everything. You know, I love watching an egg turn into an omelet. I'm telling you. I mean, I just love seeing things transform, you know, from one simple state of beauty into a conglomerate of beautification. It just, oh my God. You know, it's okay. What is my favorite coffee and creamer? I gave that 3 points. It very well could have been 4 or 5, but I wanted to limit it to 3. You could have, well, the question was, what was my favorite morning beverage? If you said if coffee had been said, I would have accepted that. But I wanted specifics. And of the answers, you could have gotten a maximum of 3 points. I love Folgers. I love Folgers Black Silk or 1850 Black Gold. And the creamer I prefer is International Delight Almond Joy. And I say this all the time. I do. They're not sponsoring anything I do. It's just that I love it so much. If they ever ask me to do a commercial, Folgers, I would allow them to stick me with an IV so that they can see that Folgers is running through my veins. And the other arm would be poetry. And when they did open heart surgery, they would see that my heart was full of yarn and all I do all day is crochet. I'm telling you, it's the only way to go. Yes. And I live my life in a poem. Okay, number 4. What was the biggest event that happened to me just before my birthday? What was the outcome and what made it happen? The biggest event was that I went to the ER on December 1st. My birthday was December 2nd. And I ended up in the ER on December 1st. What was the diagnosis? Extreme dehydration. And what got me there? Lifting too much on the 30th of November when I was bringing pizza and drinks into the house. Not only was I lifting more than I should have, I was walking across uneven terrain. So it was heavy lifting. Number 5 was I joined a fellow creator on my birthday during a live. Who was that creator? You give me the name and the channel. And I also accept it if you told me why I joined that creator. The name of the creator was DreaNicole. Her channel is Le Crochet by DreaNicole. And the reason we did a joint live is because both of our birthdays was on December 2nd. We shared a joint birthday, we shared a joint platform. So, and she calls me auntie and I call her niecey, and I love it. Number 6, how old am I? I am an amazingly beautiful and lovely 61. I am. And I think I'm loving every etched moment of that 61ness. The wrongs, the rights, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads. The moment I'm coming through now, because it takes me to a different plateau of me. And it's a journey that no one else can travel but me. And to see my growth even from year to year, and to know that I don't wear that growth because I do what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks. I take time to reset. I think that's the most important thing we can do in our lives. Just take time to reset. And if you're like me, it may come across as a period of being depressed. There's a difference between my depression and my resetting. And it takes a real fine eye to see the difference. My therapist knows the difference. My daughter's learning the difference. But I get this real distant, determined look about me. And I'm not sure where I am mentally because I'm evolving. I'm growing. And I'm accepting that growth. Okay, that's enough about that because I can make a whole video about that. Okay, number 7. What generation am I from? I am your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. Yes, I do tell you that straight off the bat. Yes, I do. And how many minions do I mean, how many grandchildren do I have? I have 2 very beautiful grandchildren. You've seen them. You've been introduced. We got Oompa and Pete, or Pete and Oompa, however you want to. But we have our princess, and we have our handsome master of the house. So there you have it. Those were the 8 questions. Those were your 15 possible answers. My gratitude, appreciation, love, and respect goes out to Joan Minsky. I do appreciate you on more than just the giveaway level. You have been there and challenged me and got me to back up and look at some things and reevaluate some things, and I appreciate that. I think that's what this platform is all about. I mean, I can give you me from my perspective, but if I'm not giving you in a way that you need, you see what I'm saying? It's fruitless to be here. I can come up here and just spit everything about me, and for what if I'm not helping somebody get somewhere? That's the one thing I had to learn about my poetry. I was an in the closet poet for a year. I'm gonna tell you about my poetry story. When I was 7 years old, my grandmother's choir, my grandmother's church had, I am a member of the Disciples of Christ, Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ. My grandmother's church, St. Rose Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ, from Wilson, North Carolina, took a bus trip to New York. I know it was somewhere in Harlem, New York. And when we got there, my mother had me sitting on the front pew with a coloring book and a notebook and my one Miss Beasley doll. I was not allowed to pull Miss Beasley's string. I was not allowed to get up during service. I was not allowed to get up and go to the bathroom. And it wasn't torture. Please, by any means, do not think it was torture. I had the opportunity to go to the bathroom when we first got there. They fed us breakfast. I had the opportunity to go to the bathroom after breakfast. And after Sunday school before church, I had the opportunity to go to the bathroom. And I think I capitalized on all those activities. I did not have any bladder issues. I did not have any kidney issues. For me to want to get up and go to the bathroom during service would have meant that I had some other stuff going on, which I did not, or that I was just wanting to be a kid and do too much in church. My mother was not having it. My mother said, sit here, you will sit here. I had my pencil, I had my crayons, I had my coloring book, I had my notebook, I had my doll baby. I didn't need anything else. I remember I grew up in the church. So I remember when the preacher was giving his sermon, everything went down. And even if I wasn't listening, I had to pretend to be listening. I understood this, But long story short, after service, this woman, my mother, came immediately to get me. I forgot where she had to be, but she was somewhere else. But she came immediately to get me. And holding my hand, this woman approached my mother, who looked very much like my mother, but she was taller. At the time, my mother was much smaller, and they kind of matched each other in frame except height. Neither one of them was fat, but they weren't skinny. They were just beautiful, thick, black women, and they both, that's the 35-year-old mama you hear in the background, and they both exuded respect, and intelligence and beauty. And anyway, when I tell you who this woman is, you will see this queen that I am speaking of. But at any rate, she approaches my mother and she says to her, I want to applaud you for how you're raising your child. And she gave her all kinds of accolades. And this woman then approached me and she took me by the hands and she said, young lady, you have a story to tell. You have a story to write. And I want you to write your story. It didn't feel like someone just talking to me. It felt like a blessing being passed on to me. And y'all, I have been writing ever since. Maybe not writing to my capacity, but when I tell you I write every day, I write every single day for the past 54 years. The only times I have not written were the times that I was in a coma, and it's been more than one time. Those are the only times I have not written, and I was probably writing in my subconscious. I didn't know who this woman was. But as I got older and started getting into poetry, I think I was probably 9. And one of my aunts really got me into poets like Langston Hughes, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Oh my goodness, I so love Paul Laurence Dunbar. He has 2 pieces that every time I say his name, I think about it. Well, there are 3 pieces that I actually love. One is called In the Morning. I performed that piece with my children. Another one called A Negro Love Song. I performed that by myself. And Dinah Kneading Dough. Oh my God. And it's Dinah Kneading Dough. Yes. But at any rate, this woman, excuse me, another mama calling. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So we're gonna wrap this up. We got a lot getting ready to happen. So, my aunt got me into more poets, and I placed this woman who put a blessing on me when I was 7 years old. There is no one like her. This woman did poetry at the inauguration. Okay, you know what I'm saying? This woman is like, she was an actress. She was an activist. She was a poet. She was a storyteller. Oh my God. She was the poet over all poets. And she touched me, y'all, when I was 7 years old and didn't know who she was. I'm speaking of the one, the only Maya Angelou. Yes. So you can see why I have a passion for writing. Because it was gifted me. And I think for a while, in me trying to honor her so much, I tried very much to write like her. And in that part of my journey, I realized that her blessing to me was not for me to be like her. Her blessing to me was to release what was already inside of me. And I had to do me. I had to write from me. So when I say, when you take an IV out of this arm and you take the poetry and the words and the similes and hyperboles and metaphors that run through this vein, is so I can have this hand free to write. Okay? When I say when I say that out of this vein you can draw my Folgers and my International Delight, is so that I can drink coffee. With this hand. And when I say that open heart surgery yes, Lana, Yes, Joan. Yes, Pebbles. I have been working on my sweater. I have a ways to go. But that top part that I told y'all that I had to finish, I got it done. So I have the hood, the facing, and the sleeves to go. And the pockets. But you can see I have been working on my sweater. So I do crochet my yarn and my needles. My hooks. Oh, no. And the reason I say needles is because in 2025 I plan to start trying to knit. That's part of my growth, y'all. I want to learn it. I don't necessarily want it to become as addictive as crocheting is to me, but I don't know unless I try. I don't know unless I give it that old college try. I have to be open. It may be for me in the future. It may be something, I don't know, but I have to explore so that I can see exactly where it's meant for me to be at that stage in my life. I listen to some people, give you cut and concise things about how to do and how to plan and how to, but when you're dealing with someone who evolves constantly, I am not only at different stages of where I am, sometimes I'm in different stages in the beginning of another part or phase of my life. If you've walked in a circle leading with your left foot for so long and you keep coming back to the same point, then when are you going to start leading off with the right foot so that you can end up someplace different? Maybe it's something better for you there. And who says that you have to stop trying to find that better? That's why I don't like to be confined to a box. I like being outside the box. I like the fact that the box is there. That's my little security. That's what I can fall back on. I know when things get hard, I know I can get out here and go to certain people like my daughter and be like, hey, I need some hat sew. We need this, we need that. I need you to push some hats for me. I need you to start taking your blanket around with you and show the blankets. I need to sell a couple of blankets. And no, it's not money hand over fist. Sometimes it's just to put that extra $40 here or that extra $100 there or whatever. But who knows, the business part of this that I really want to experience, said that it's something continual, something lucrative. Knitting might be what takes me there. I don't know. Might be talking that takes me there. I don't know. I have my moments of meditation and I let God lead me the way that I need to be going. I come to those forks in the road and I pray. If it's a clear path and I can see, I'll peek. See nothing that way. Looks like a carnival, but it's surrounded by police cars. I think I'm going the nothing route. That looks like trouble. I'm gonna go that way. You see, and that's the way my mind works. We'll get more into that another time, but yes. Thank you again. Congratulations to Joan Minsky. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you. And you know what you got to do. Send me that email. And we'll get things popping. It might even be before January that I'm able to send it. But we'll see. No, it won't be before January because Christmas is today. And the post office is going to be wonky until after the 1st. So it'll be like the first full week of January that I'm able to get that off to you. Oh, your mama's not in there? And we're not doing that until after we eat. What y'all do? Why are you barefooted? And y'all need to make sure that side door is open. Auntie, and Auntie are coming. See what it means to be a part of my life. You get to experience all this fun. But y'all, yes, this is comfy. It is warm and comfy. I still got some little snippets to do. You know, like I said, I have to add the facing and the buttons and the pockets and the sleeves and the hood. But the important thing is I did work on it, and I got much farther than I've gotten on any other sweater that I've started for myself. Every sweater that I've started for myself has been incorporated into a blanket because it's been frothed and put in a blanket. So this is my baby. I love you guys, but I need you to love you. Self-love is the greatest love of all. And you can't love others the way they deserve to be loved if you don't love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. And you deserve the best. Remember that. So look out for the video that's coming out on Sunday. Know that I love you. Know that I will be checking in on you in and out. Hope you enjoy the new structure that's coming up. Until then, peace out.